This recent lawsuit is going to bring a lot of chaos and turmoil to Shannon Sharp's life, but I believe this lawsuit is a lot deeper than what meets the eye. Disgraced Houston attorney Tony Buzbee has announced he's filing a lawsuit against Shannon Sharp on behalf of a Jane Doe. If you've been following celebrity lawsuits, especially in the last year and a half, then you would know that Tony Buzbee has been a recurring character. He's literally involved in suing literally everyone, right? And a lot of the times, his lawsuits are deemed frivolous, especially with Jay-Z more recently, where Tony Buzbee got himself in a lot of trouble on filing a lawsuit against Jay-Z on behalf of a Jane Doe that Jay-Z has never met. Buzbee would announce the lawsuit on Facebook of all places, and he would put, late last night, the Buzbee law firm filed a civil lawsuit on behalf of a brave young woman who alleged she was brutally essayed by former NFL player Shannon Sharp on multiple occasions. The last incident occurred in January of 2025. The lawsuit filed under the pseudonym Jane Doe lays out a pattern of intimidation, manipulation, and blank, including allegations that Shannon Sharp repeatedly threatened to choke and slap Jane Doe. The case seeks $50 million in damages. The case is on file in Department 11, Clark County State Court, Nevada, the county where the alleged conduct occurred. The egregious and concerning facts of the case are set forth in detail in the public filing. I'm extremely proud to represent Jane Doe. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up against those with power, fame, and money. I look forward to pressing this case in court. If you are a real victim, from my perspective, Tony Buzbee should be the last lawyer you should hire to represent you. Because when you go with Tony Buzbee, the automatic assumption is this is a money grab. This is frivolous. You are lying, because Tony Buzbee has been lying on people for the last 50 years, bruh. Tony Buzbee is a known fraudster. And everything about this lawsuit aligns up with everything that Tony Buzbee does. With the Jay-Z stuff, Tony Buzbee tried to extort or hold Jay-Z hostage for millions of dollars before going public. What Tony Buzbee does is he would hold a lawsuit until something in your life is about to happen. With Deshaun Watson, he held on to the lawsuits until Deshaun Watson was about to get a huge deal, and then he struck to extort Deshaun Watson for money in a settlement. With this Shannon Sharp lawsuit, he held on to the lawsuit, and he filed a day after it got announced that Shannon Sharp is about to get $100 million in his new podcast deal. Even though Shannon Sharp hasn't publicly spoke on the new $100 million deal, his co-host will pretty much confirm the rumors by quote tweeting and saying, "Oh, we finna be richer," because Shannon Sharp is currently with The Volume, right? And that's Colin Cowherd's network. As soon as that's over, Shannon Sharp is about to get a Joe Rogan-esque deal. And the day that was announced, Tony Buzbee was rubbing his hand like Birdman, knowing he was about to try to hold Shannon Sharp hostage. I want to make this clear. If Shannon Sharp is guilty, he doesn't deserve a platform. He doesn't deserve the $100 million. But if Shannon Sharp is innocent, I want Shannon Sharp to take everything that Tony Buzbee has. Take his house, take his wife, take everything from this guy. Because at some point, enough is enough, bruh. Now, what we know about this lawsuit so far is that it's being filed by a woman that Shannon Sharp met at a gym. And no, it's not Michelle, all right? So we don't know the woman's identity yet, but what we do know and can confirm is the woman who's filing a lawsuit against Shannon Sharp isn't the Michelle that was caught on IG Live being intimate with Shannon Sharp. This Jane Doe actually met Shannon Sharp 2 years ago when she was 20 years old. They met at a gym. That's where their first encounter was, and apparently Shannon Sharp and her began talking because they were both a part of a weight loss competition. I already know how they're going to try to paint this man, bro. They're going to try to paint him as a predator, bro. 20 is legal. 20 is legal, bro. And if anything, man, she was probably preying on him, bro. She was probably preying on Shannon Sharp, bro. A multi-millionaire, ex-NFL player, it's a highly successful podcast, man, stop it, bro. Broke 20-year-old woman, man, cut it out, bro. But Shannon, you know you ain't got no business with no 20-year-old. You know you ain't got no business with no 20-year-old in your mid-50s. Now, I'm not saying you are predator. I'm saying you got no business with no 20-year-old, bro. All right? They crazy. right? They probably immature, probably broke. When the money dry up, they probably don't know how to let that money go, bro, because you probably their first multi-millionaire, bro. So as a 50-year-old man, bro, who is probably well-versed in risk assessment, man, a 20-year-old ain't worth it, bro. Not at all. Now, she will claim that Shannon Sharp pursued her heavily, bro. And when he finally got her, that's when things changed. She admits they got into a consensual relationship, but then he got very controlling and verbally blank afterwards. Now, she will state that he was very demanding and demanded complete control over her time and her body, expecting her to be at his house on his schedule, on his command, whenever he called. So far, I ain't hear a crime yet. So far, what I've heard is something that's expected outside of the verbally stuff, right? Complete control. Listen, bro, I'm a multi-millionaire in my 50s. If I wanted a career woman, if I wanted somebody who was 40 plus with a career and a mind of her own who can go out, no, bro, you is in your 20s. Ain't no partying, ain't no going out with the girls. Nah, bro, you coming over this mansion, you getting, your back dug in every night, you eating this, and you going home, bro. That's it, that's all. But in return, you get the provision, the resources, and the assets that you are dating me for. You're not attracted to a 50-year-old Shannon Sharp. You are with him for money, and he's with you for your body. It's a fair exchange in my eyes, all right? Because you could have very easily said, yeah, I'm not coming over. I'm not going. You consensually and willingly entered into a transactional relationship, and now you're trying to paint him as a monster for your relationship being transactional. It will continue. Doe claimed that there was one argument in particular that terrified her when he yelled at her while a firearm was visible in the room. Yo, lawyers are so slick and diabolical, bruh. Yo, peep the framing of this. It terrified me because he yelled at me while a firearm was in the room. Bruh, this man lives in a mansion, bruh. This man's home just got robbed and raided at some point this year. You don't think he had firearms in his house? He never lifted a firearm at you. He never pointed it at you. He never used it on you. But peep the word. Oh, I was terrified. Had a firearm in the room while he yelled at me. Yo, this is lawyer framing, because essentially what's going on is he wants you to lead to your own conclusion. They're protecting themselves from a countersuit. Because when you say, oh, he pointed a firearm at me, no, they can't say that, because that's when Tony Busby getting his eye rated, right? He getting his assets taken by Shannon Sharp. So they gonna lead you into your own conclusion. Oh, I was terrified. He was yelling. Firearm was in the room. Man, you thinking he probably did something with the firearm, bro, when all he did was talk to her. Now, here's where they try to paint him as a monster, and this is where I think is pretty reasonable what he did in this situation, okay? So, plaintiff tried sharing her location with her friends from her iPhone, just in case, the doc stated. But Sharp saw her sharing her location. The moment he realized what she was doing, he grabbed her by the neck and told her, if you ever do that again, I will effing blank you. This is he said, she said, and so far, we haven't seen anything to really back this up. All we know is Tony Busby is a liar and a fraud, so anything attached to him is a lie and a fraud, but we're going to give her the benefit of the doubt, and let's just say, okay, she's telling the truth. While they was in an argument, he seen her dropping her location, and he said, hold on, if you do that again, I will effing... Yo, this man's house just got robbed. This man is a celebrity. This man understands the climate of Los Angeles, right? Like he understands the climate of Los Angeles. Now, I believe they were in his LA home, or let's say Nevada home. This man understands the climate right now, bro. All it takes is a disgruntled woman dropping her location to the thugs she know, and now they come into your crib blicked up trying to rob you, bro. So, yeah, duh. If we're in an argument and you drop your location, I'm stopping that. No. You trying to get me killed is what I'm thinking. So the incident where she was dropping her location took place in Los Angeles because they moved to Nevada shortly after his home got robbed. So, yeah, bro, that man is from the projects. He's from the hood, bro. Dropping your low as a woman, man, listen, bro, I can't fault Shannon Sharp for taking precautions, homie. Now, this next part is pretty disturbing, and I'm going to just not even give my judgment on this. I'm going to just let the court play it out. So she goes on and she stated that following a move by both to Nevada during the summer of 2024, Doe states in her shoot that she attempted to break things off with Shannon Sharp, that she wanted nothing to do with him after seeing the Instagram live with Michelle, where he was digging in Michelle's guts and he accidentally turned on IG Live. Which she would say after she attempted to break it up with him, that led to him graping her. Now, she would say that in her suit, the first instance happened October of 2024 at her apartment. She said the then 56-year-old Shannon Sharp forced himself on her while she was crying and sobbing. The second instance, the suit alleged that it happened a few weeks later, right? January of 2025, where she would claim that Shannon Sharp came over to her house again. Now, the first time he forced himself on her, or allegedly raped her while she was crying and sobbing, that apparently was not enough for her to cut things off. She invited him over her house again after that because he promised to buy her Christmas and birthday gift. But instead, he violently forced himself upon her again. One would say if somebody did that to you once as a woman, that's probably like a deal breaker, right? Like that's probably something where you would never speak to that person again, where you will call the authorities, where you will go to the police, where you will get that person locked up, where that's not something somebody can do to you and then you go back to being friendly with them or even wanting gifts from them. So to hear that, to me, is very sus and very sketchy. But with this Shannon Sharp lawsuit, listen, bro, I believe there's something up here, bro. I think this is get back. And now, if you guys are not aware, bro, a lot of people was blaming Shannon Sharp for the Fox Sports lawsuit because Shannon Sharp and the stylist was really close friends. People know that Shannon Sharp and that stylist actually linked up weeks before the lawsuit was announced. Now, a lot of people, right? Now, you can look on the YouTube streets, all right? I believe like Marcellus Wiley also hinted to this in his video, where they believe that Shannon Sharp bankrolled, funded the lawsuit against Skip Bayless and Fox Sports in retaliation for Fox Sports letting him go. Now, who knows if Shannon Sharp did this? Who knows if it's true that he's even involved? But what I do know is this could very well be retaliation. This could very well be Fox Sports and Shannon Sharp retaliating against Shannon Sharp by bankrolling their own lawsuit against Shannon Sharp. Now, do I believe this lawsuit is gonna go far? I don't, bro, to be honest, yo. Listen, bro, because everything she stated, there's really no tangible proof or evidence. I didn't really see any messages in the complaint. I didn't see any type of correspondence with Shannon Sharp where he's taking responsibility and owning up to it.
And with that being said, hey, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happened, man. Not sure how these allegations gonna play out. But hey, hit the like button, subscribe, share. Yeah, shout out to Flacco, man. Y'all go follow Flacco, man, if y'all want more on the story. But I'm not gonna hold y'all too long. Flacco is a little long-winded, but yeah, Shannon them just got that they old deal just expired. So now they're getting ready to sign this new $100 million deal, Ocho and Shannon. So it could be somebody trying to do a little blackmail on, Shannon Sharp, try to get a little bit of that bread, but we don't know. Let's just stay posted and we'll see how this play out, y'all. Appreciate y'all swinging back. Until next time, I'll catch y'all after these messages. We'll be right back.